Hey guys, welcome back to my pick card reading. Today's question is, where do I feel most vulnerable in my life right now? I'm doing this a little bit differently because I do these readings every day for myself and I let the cards just fall out, and how many cards are falling out for me, I'm going to put it into the bigger card reading as well. So I have a lot of tarot cards and then I have oracle cards. So it's a little bit different than usual. That's why it's only 3 piles. That's what I was told as well while I was doing my reading. So so this is pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. Feel free to pause the video and meditate on the piles, or whatever works for you. Everyone has their own way to do it. And without any further ado, we just go and get to the readings. So, pile number 1, this is a reading for you. I'll put pile number 3 and pile number 2 here. So we'll see, where do you feel the most vulnerable right now? 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Swords, and 5 of Wands. Now it's actually in reverse, so I'm going to leave that in reverse. I can see straight away that there is some struggle. There is definitely a conflict which you're trying to avoid, and you're feeling really vulnerable, or someone else is trying to avoid for you. Your luck must not have been that well at late. It could be to do something with your relationships or financial. It could be your business, and you have a really conflict inside, yes or no. You might be used by other people. You might feel abused, and that is kind of a conflict as well. I kind of really sense right now that there is something to do with family business, and you will be really vulnerable about it. 10 of Pentacles usually a very financially stable kind of a wealth and security, but it's all a long-term success. But it could be that it is failing, or someone is trying to take over the business, and you feel really vulnerable about it. You kind of feel that you're caught out in your life, and most definitely there is like a heartbreak, and the conflict is there. There's a certain conflict, and avoiding the conflict is quite well. You might be feeling that if you avoid this conflict, you might be coming out better, but you're not. Just deal with the conflict and you can turn around. The Wheel of Fortune is always going around. You can always turn around your luck. It's not about fate. We can make our own fate. We can make our own place. You don't have to lose a family and fortune and business because of that conflict. And it's all about conflict here. It's like you feel very vulnerable about it, the conflict, and definitely about family or business. It could be your kids and their financial. You could be fighting with the kids about the money, and you don't know where did you have gone wrong. There's a conflict. I want to see, that's where you feel vulnerable. There's a conflict and you don't really know how to resolve it. By avoiding it, it's most definitely not going to work. Just go in and work with that conflict. Deal with it, turn it around. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is just in the middle. It's just like everything has happened because of the conflict, because your own inner turmoil. The 2 of Swords talks a lot about difficult decisions and confusion and what to do with it. And again, 3 of Swords is heartbreak, and having heartbreak, I want to read like that. There's something happened, and that is just kind of has caused you falling out on your family, falling out with your loved ones, falling out, and you're avoiding that conflict. Maybe you feel that you were cheated, and maybe your husband or boyfriend or business partner cheated on you, and you were kind of avoiding and pulling on clouds and saying this didn't happen, but you have to kind of go because it makes you vulnerable. Don't deal with it now, and you get your strength back, and you would be fine. And the same way, you might be able to turn that wheel around and stop that inner turmoil inside and making this decision, will you keep your business or not? Like, it will all work out. Let's see what the oracle cards are saying. Study. Now, sorry, my tripod is falling. It's not very happy there. So we look at the oracle cards. This is study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well along. That you are indecisive on this decision, and the oracle cards say just study. What is there? How would you be able to make it happen? How do you make it that you won't have that much of a trouble to get what you like? Get maybe legal advice and go see what other options are there. The angel card would be saying Rosette. You have a gift of working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or branding. Again, it's maybe you feel like that you can't guide your kids or you can't guide people. I'm not really sure because it's a general reading. I don't really know about the circumstances, but there's two cards talking about teaching and step out of your comfort zone. So teaching, a family card. Step out of your comfort zone and deal with that conflict. That's most definitely. I would say to change whatever vulnerability is there right now. It's to do with kids, and I think study what is there, and maybe you have a problem with your child. I don't know, like I'm saying, it's a general reading, or someone in your family, but you have a gift to teach and study and be very passionate, like very compassionate about it, and give them your wisdom and guide them through, and you would come out of that conflict and that insecurities, and you make the right decisions. Now, most definitely the conflict, just step out of your comfort zone and deal with it. Don't hide behind the cloud, just a cloud saying like everything pink out, everything's happy, I'm good. So yes, that's all I can see for you. If you liked the video, leave a comment below and give a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I will keep posting anyways, daily. So I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Now, pile number 2. Let's see what I have for you. What insecurities, where do you feel the most vulnerable in your life right now? Page of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Death, and 4 of Wands. There has been a massive change in your life, but it has made you someone who wants to be alone. It might be even a spiritual journey, and you kind of you feel vulnerable to talk about it, and it can be a kind of you trying to find the balance in it and how to breathe back into life with it. It's definitely a massive change in your life. You might have been in a position that you're really vulnerable. If anyone asks, what are you going to do next? You don't have a plan, and you feel vulnerable that people judge you, and being kind of being judgmental on that. You don't actually want to do anything else. You want to be on your own, and you feel it very vulnerable. People, like, if you take on the world right now, it's very goal oriented. It's like go go go. You have to make that much money. You have to have that. You have to have biggest house, newest car. But you don't want any of that. You have found something new for yourself, and it burns you creatively, and it balances you out. But you're very worried that you feel insecure talking about it. This massive change, like Death and Hermit, are kind of major arcana cards and always show some long term. Like if these are 3 to 6 months, then these are definitely long term cards, like long term energies in your life, and that change had changed a lot about you, and it might have kind of pulled you away from the world and your friends and made you a little bit like outcast, or people are like, are you okay, are you depressed, or should you go and see a counseling? And you're like, no, I'm actually really balanced and really happy, my life is really good. But you can't talk about it because people clear the judgment on you. The Four of Wands really talks about being in harmony, but like it's also, it's breakdown of communication and lacking of the communication, that you don't have the communication with others, and you feel really vulnerable. You don't know how to talk about how actually good you are, how well you feel, and because you feel being judged. Yeah, your priorities have changed, and you're kind of feel vulnerable because of that as well. And people judge you, that things, the way you communicate is not the one what people are used to, and they just kind of like, I don't know, I think she's or he has gone nuts, and I think he needs help, when actually you're very happy. And to be honest, I'll stay true to yourself. Don't worry about what other people are saying, as long as you're happy in what you're doing and how you communicate. If you don't communicate at all, that's fine. Some friends will fall off if they don't, but like if you feel happy in yourself, in harmony, like the Two of Pentacles, where coins are balanced, and Four of Wands is to talk about that as well, then please stay as you are, because that is what you like, that's your truth. If you need to be a hermit and being alone a little bit longer, that's fine. Just tell people, I'm fine, thank you very much, thank you for worrying me, there's nothing to worry about, I feel happy, I feel fulfilled, in harmony. I'm looking for new ways to communicate with you. Please give me some time and don't judge me. I really totally think that it's a very good way to be. So let's see what the Oracle cards are saying. Sensuality. Your freedom flowing far away. I dance, I love, laughing. But I really feel that you're kind of, the answers you need are coming, and Archangel Raphael. I think you're going through a bit of a healing period, maybe even a spiritual healing, in a way. Even if you're not a spiritual person, I would say you kind of understand what I mean. It's coming from inside out. You kind of start to understand why certain things happen to you. Archangel Raphael is a healer, and it's a great strong angel to have your back on. I absolutely love that Archangel Raphael. If I need something, or I'm feeling in lost, I always ask for him to come and guide me. The answers you need are coming, and it's just kind of gives you this, like, yeah, I'm hermit, but it will solve. It comes a way where you know how to communicate with people. It kind of says your vulnerability is to be free. You are free. You're free because you see your world differently. You know how. Yeah, you're free you're true to yourself, and you feel free. but this is one of your biggest vulnerability, and you don't know how to deal with it, that people wouldn't judge you in a wrong way, because you don't really know how to communicate that fully out without getting judged by people, and that's absolutely valid point. But don't worry, the answers you need are coming. You will find that way, okay? Just stay balanced in your truth and keep up the curiosity. Your change has been a major, it seems like a big dark, but look at this. These people are like, yes, thank you. Thankfully you're here. The death here is gone and the plants are starting to grow. Death card is like, people are like, oh no, it's a good card. It's a good card. It's always talks about it's one of those cards where there's a big massive yes. Yes, you're doing great. All the cards have a shadow side, but I kind of want to say you might be in this position right now when you're working with your shadow sides, but you don't understand that you need to do that. You can start to finally see the problems what had arisen before. It could be also that you need to maybe confront some people and talk about it, like, hey, by the way, do you remember when you behaved like that? That was not cool. But you don't really know how to do it and how to find the communication, and you're really vulnerable, because for your own personal growth you have to do that. But don't forget, like, you're healing and it's good, you're free, it's all good. That's all I can actually see for you for pile number 2. I hope you liked it. If it helped you and resonated with you, leave a comment below. Give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you. Bye. So pile number 3, this is your reading. Let's see, where do you feel most vulnerable right now? So Justice, King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, in reverse, Temperance, and Knight of Swords. Whew. You really try to balance something in your life for good. And it might be to do something with legal ways. Like Temperance is all about balance, and Justice is all about balance and finding this middle ground. King of Wands talk about very strong, manly leader, but who has a very kind heart. And Queen of Pentacles in reverse is all about becoming a financial independent. You might be feeling that you are not financially independent and depending on another person, and you it makes you vulnerable, and I know totally how that feels. And you try to find a balance. It's all very kind of, because it's all delayed out, it's all kind of a dragged out process on some reason. It could be mediation, divorce, it could be that you want to move out of the house, you maybe want to, you're depending on someone, but you want to you might be looking for a job and you're still living off your parents, and it makes you really vulnerable. You kind of want to be a little bit more independent. You're going to have a little bit more of, have your own independence. But don't do it like it's all kind of slowing down. You're not happy, you're really vulnerable, but why is it dragging so long? Why? I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get. You also might be like that. You're looking for a work and you kind of don't know what you want to do, and that makes you vulnerable. And people keep giving you advice. You should be doing this and you should be doing that. And, oh, by the way, did you know this place is looking for workers? And you kind of go like, well, it's not me. I don't really know what's my purpose. I don't want to really know what to do. I don't want to work in Delhi. I don't want to work in a shoe shop. I want to do something more practical. But because you kind of feel stuck by being dependent on someone else and not having financial independence. Now, the one thing what I can say is take the job. It's always too better get out of the house than being stuck in the same place. Even if you don't like the job, take it for 3 weeks and quit if you'd like. But like, it will give you such a boost to then look for more work and start to find something, dip into many pots, because we are allowed to do that. I mean, 100 years ago, when dad was a shoemaker, you become a shoemaker. When you were a cloth maker, you become a cloth maker. When there was a farmer, then the whole family was a farmer. But right now, we could have so many options. We can be whoever we want. We can have 6 different professionals because we have the education there, what we can get, and we also have the options because there's so much more workload out there. You might be also feeling very vulnerable because the area where you live don't have much of an options. Maybe you could do something online. Maybe you can start making something. Let's look at the oracle cards and we'll see what is there. Beauty, success, and don't let your past hold you back. Bethany, when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as massage, sea salt bath. Bethany talks about beauty, being beautiful. Maybe you want to be a beautician. You are also, I feel, you're maybe being put down, like, oh no, that's not going to work. Start to give services. If you're a beautician or you do anything related to the beauty, maybe you're a photographer and want to take pictures, but you don't think that your camera is so good. You believe me, even phones can be done really fun. Like, how to put it? You're watching this video, you obviously have either a phone or a computer, and don't worry, critics are everywhere, but also art we're too much stuck in someone else's opinions. They don't matter. Like, things what I like, you might hate. And things what you love, I'm gonna go, that's total rubbish. But does this mean that either side is wrong? No, they're both good. So things what I won't buy, I know, or make, I'm designer myself. So if there's things sometimes I make and I'm like, oh, it's rubbish, and I would never put it on a rail. And next thing someone walks in and says, I love it, can I buy it? And you can't put a tap on opinion. Also, you don't think, you kind of feel vulnerable that even if you go after this like this beauty part of it, it could be you're a beautician, designer, you love beauty, you're a photographer, something to do with beauty. Anything can be beauty. Like, I mean, even beautiful gardening can be beauty. It's just something which you want to give out beauty, and you will be successful. You kind of go like, I will never be, even maybe if I will be successful, where will I go then? Don't worry about it. Don't feel vulnerable about it. It's all, surrender to it, and you would be. Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let your past hold you back. Whatever has been told you before, you can do it. Just don't feel vulnerable about it. Maybe you were a beautician and it failed, and you kind of go like, I can't do this again. The best way to show it is, look at the movie stars. I mean, Meryl Streep could have done many movies, and a lot of the movies she's like, we will not talk about it. It was so bad. Yeah, I watched it about 30 minutes and it was painful. I stopped. So there's things like that. We fail, we learn from our failings, and we get up and we'll do it again. Yeah, don't really get stuck in your past, and don't put that up there that people will remind you, but you can always say like, so did Bill Gates, he failed 4 times, but it doesn't mean that. Let's look, I mean, there's so many people who fail in their businesses and their things, and it doesn't matter, just forget about it. They get up again and they do it again because that's what they feel passionate about it. But yeah, all I want to say is you feel you're independently, you're not financially independent, and you're stuck on something and someone else's. You might be, yeah, you're not financially independent, but you feel really off balance, but you want to find the balance. And to find the balance, you have to get out and do something to do with beauty. Something will hold you back, but you're holding yourself back as well. So that's where you feel vulnerable, some kind of a past event. But I want to say it's like success. You may be feeling like you were successful and that holds you back. Please don't. It's good. Yeah, that's all I can see for you, pile number 3. If it resonated with you, leave a comment below. If you liked the video, please be thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.